Koshik. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I just lost my stream. And it looks like I'm having issues too. It looks like I'm back up and running now. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to see us reject the 74.15 level. It looks like we have already rejected. 74.15. Got a few points rejection there. Nothing major. All right, let's see. 74.15, and the 74.15 level was actually a pretty decently large level prior to market open. Mind you, all the position sizes, I'd say, is pretty small. And I noticed that there's no real gamma wall or a call wall. The straddle was measured at about 28 points. I like that high volume candle on the 5-minute. YM is still pumping though, so I'm not sure what to make of that yet. A little bit of divergence between ES and NQ. I kind of want to take this, but I'm gonna give it a moment here. $24.15. Longs below 8:45 a.m. lows. But NQ would be nice. 8:45, 8:45. Yeah. I wasn't. I was only like half paying attention at that point. I was still trying to figure things out and read a few things. But yeah, I like when I saw the 5-minute candle and then also the 15-minute candle, I was like, hey, it could be a good long. It looked pretty good. Especially on ES. ES was decent for the candle. And NQ did a nice sweep, so it was fine. I would have preferred like a overnight level sweep, but it is what it is. I really want to take this trade. I'm going to enter here on one account. I should have entered this on the other account too, but oh well. I like the divergence that I see between ES and NQ. 5 minutes, high volume candle, minor top wick, nothing major. But I really like that SPX rejected 74.14, which is really close to the 15 level that I had. Just looking at the positioning here, the positioning has since adjusted, but one of the reasons why 74.15 still works is there are a few market makers that have the updated positioning. Like every market maker has to hedge delta based on their own books, and sometimes positioning that comes on is on another market maker's books. So not all market makers act the same, if you will, which is why the daily level still matters. And this is what I heard from Vol Signals. I don't think he published it in a public forum, but it was just something that he had noted. So it's interesting to hear why the daily levels are well respected. And it's only well respected because some market makers don't have an updated book. Like whoever takes positions with that market maker doesn't may not have sold or bought at level any more than what they had going into the day. So it's an interesting hypothesis, but it explains why it's working. You're in this too? Are you also short? Or are you long? Okay. I think it's a short, if I'm reading it correctly. Okay. Yeah, I got a 33.50 entry. I want to say I was lucky on that one. Kind of wish I got in a little bit higher, but it is what it is. They're very dependent on what NQ does here. YM is still moving upwards. Will likely hit a low volume node shortly. not quite there yet. Yeah, YM is still gonna go. NQ just reversed. Okay. Holy smokes. NQ is dropping pretty good towards the low end of its range. Oh, I see why you entered there. Is it because of the IFVG? I wanted to see us run towards 400, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get that. 400. So we're sitting around my entry here. 400 would be about 10 points or so. Yeah, there's the low volume node rejection on YM. But now you're getting a move up on NQ to kind of offset it. So we'll see. It's 10 o'clock. Was there any news? Unicorn mod on IFVG? And with FVG, I see. Trump speaks at healthcare event at 10:30. Okay, nothing crazy. VIX is kind of coming off a little here, which is kind of odd because the market was going up and VIX was going up. There's the YM pullback off of the low volume node. But NQ is kind of picking up the slack here. I would have loved to see the VWAP and or the POC hit. On ES. VWAP's around 17. The POC would be preferred, but quite a ways lower there. Oh boy. Yes, I mean, YM and NQ just moving in opposite directions. They're almost taking turns. Yeah, mine 1 hour trade would be perfect from where you entered. Yeah. Yeah, 1 hour as a target. Yeah, that would be perfect. Yeah, I wanted to see this run down towards like 7,400 SPX. 7,400. $73.90 would be perfect. The NQ is holding up pretty good here, while YM is just coming back down pretty hard. Almost as fast as it going up. It's building good volume here. We got a B-shaped VP. I see. Yeah, NQ is really pushing. It's pushing pretty good here. Yeah, just one account for me, but gee, 74.15, 74.20. Yeah, I wanted to see it kind of hold under there. Right now we're at 74.10. What NQ does here. I would like to see some sort of rejection on NQ here. YM and NQ seem to be both moving freely, while ES is pinned. Feels like if it goes down, it's just going to be like one of those abrupt movements where if you got your take profit set there, it would trigger. But if you didn't have it there, it would be too late to reassess and actually take profit. I entered with one other account on that move. So hopefully this goes. We're hanging up with the upside pivot, Alma's upside pivot there. Straddle high as measured takes us to around 74.17. I think this can still ride up to 74.20, but there's no certainty here. And I hate the way like it's so slow. But truly, I think no real possibility for a large pullback until after the May OPEX, which is this Friday, and the expiration is the following week. All right, NQ is still pushing here. $74.20 is still a possibility. I'm out at the highs here. If should we tick above the high, which I think we will if we're going to visit 74.20. 15-minute candle. So I might let, I'm still not certain. I want to let the other one run to 74.20. I'll probably reassess and re-enter on the other one too. NQ looks like it still might want to come up, but so we're at 74.13. Yeah, I have to reassess. I took the 5-point loss on almost 5 points. Almost 5-point loss on both accounts. I'm going to reassess here. I just have to have a good look at what NQ might be doing. Which might be an opportunity to re-enter. So that was 74.16 there. I really like that. Okay. Let's see where this goes. 74.16. Oh yeah, that's good. I should have just left it. .16. 74.16 looks really good. Let's see. 74.16. YM is coming right back up here. Hopefully NQ shows us something. I'm just gonna switch back over to the OptionsDepth. And right now we're hanging at the gamma trough. Zero gamma on the daily. Straddle high. Yeah, NQ's not showing anything. Yeah, I have to think it's a positive drift up day. If NQ doesn't show anything here. Okay, NQ there. ES just looked so bad in terms of how the candles look. But NQ, the 15-minute looks like it still wants to run, but I don't know. Yeah, so I was looking at Alma's weekly, and Monday and Tuesday seem to be like an upside drift potential. Yeah, upside drift potential. Slow grind up on Monday, squeeze into CPI, fade after the CPI is a possibility. Wednesday is a reversion day after a move up, I guess. And then Friday is a downside drift potential. So it'd be interesting to kind of track to see how it kind of looks. I won't be hanging my hat on this one, but priced in straddle. Yeah, I noticed you called that the unicorn model, which is interesting. Normally for me, the unicorn model would look... Wait, is this on the 1 minute? Okay, let me see here. Let me see if I can find some sort of unicorn model. But maybe I'm mistaken it. Like I don't know the nuances. All right, so this 5 minute close here. looks a little interesting. NQ. All I wanted to see was a pullback, but it's just a massive drift up. Not massive, sorry, just a drift up. But yeah, I thought the unicorn looked a little bit different. I'm gonna see if I can find one. But maybe I'm mixing it up with the silver bullet strategy. Yeah, see, like YM is headed right back up and really fast, and NQ is pulling right back down. Kind of ridiculous. Makes me not want to touch ES at all today. But this would be the spot. Like, I just don't know that you'll get a good enough play off of it. It's all dependent on NQ right now. Yeah, look at NQ. Oh man. See that 5-minute close there made me want to enter at 10:15 on NQ. Yep. 74.17 rejection on SPX. Oh man, see, that's the move. That is the move right there. Did you re-enter based on that IFVG? 29,260. 29,260. 29,260. I see why. I'm a little afraid to enter long off 260, mainly because at that point I would want to see 226. But yeah, see, like, oh, that was such a fast move by NQ. Wow. That's a good 30-minute close too. Brutal. All right, so YM went back up there. Right off of its low volume node. It's not quite low volume anymore. But this is all driven from NQ. See, what I hate about that is I was thinking that I might want to hold through this because I think the move is down, but there was potential for us to kind of run towards 74.20 on SPX is what I was saying. And we ended up just topping off at the straddle high. The 5-minute was very interesting there on, I just don't know that. Let me double check here. Where is the volume? There it is. Volume here, 5.7K. Yeah, okay, so I wasn't imagining things. I'm looking at the 5-minute, 10:15 candle close on NQ. Kind of like a doji, not quite. Wicks on both sides. Swept a 1-minute swing high there. And the volume just kind of ticked a little bit higher than the previous one. And I thought that that was telling. Oh, fudge. Look at that move. Okay. I gotta really trust my instincts next time. But now it'll be confirmation bias. Because I was in at around like what, 33, 34? If I just left like a 10-point stop loss. Because I was thinking that we can run towards 74.20 and then reject around there. And we totally did. Brutal. Yeah, there was just that little tiny glimmer shown by NQ. And it was just all the volume. It's all volume based. The 5-minute 10:15 candle had slightly higher volume. ES had not topped yet at that point, but it was pretty darn close to it. The 5-minute on SPX looks a lot better than what we saw on ES. Because it showed like shooting star candle, I guess. But it looks like your 260 is playing out beautifully. 40 points already. Decent bounce up there. So here, this is what I see as a potential unicorn kind of play, but my terminology for ICT is not as good. This is on the 5-minute, so it's not going to be as great, but and this might be a silver bullet, so don't judge me for not knowing the the terminology, but here I am showing it on TradingView. The chart here, I got a breaker over here. You got a bit of accumulation, manipulation, distribution. The only thing that I don't particularly love about this is because on the 5-minute, we're not showing a, yeah, that was beautiful NQ longs. Good for you. That's great. Yeah, I'll wait to kind of understand the silver bullet. Such a beautiful long. Good, great long, man. We basically got our pull back from ES. Oh, actually, let me show this on the 1 minute. ES 1 minute. But I'm going to use the 5-minute as a reference. Maker. 5-minute candles as a reference. Breaker, fair value gap. I suppose you can enter. FVG. So this is what I see. Sorry, where are you taking it to, Koshik? Are you taking it to the highs? The high of day? Oh, okay, the swing highs. Looking pretty good so far. YM is coming down a little. It's still ranging. It looks like the reverse of the NQ chart. The NQ 15-minute versus the YM 5-minute. They're like negative exposures of each other, I think. There you go. There you go. Yeah, I personally didn't love the play. mainly because I would have wanted to see the low, the overnight low taken out. But I can understand why you went in. But I guess this would be less my usual strategy. But this is perfect for yours. Amazing, dude. Well played. Did you wait for the 5 minute to close? Or did you enter yeah, actually, how did you decide on the entry? Was it off the 1 minute, the 2 minute, the 5 minute close? I can respect you not going to break even today. There's just something about this daily 0 gamma line, and we were hovering right around it. I should have just, well, I didn't mind where I closed, but I should have reassessed for reentry and not been afraid to reenter off of that, especially after the SPX kind of hinted at a downside move. And we were at the straddle high. Everything seemed to have lined up beautifully for that down move. Okay, so you entered off the breaker OB with FVG. Okay. So to me, I guess that breaker would be like a 30-second breaker or something. It would actually look like a yeah, that's pretty good. I see what you're, I like the entry model. Find something at this moment. This is definitely looking pretty good for your upside. I probably would have gotten out here at value area high with most of my positions, and then ride it through with maybe the runner. Whatever I would feel comfortable with at the moment, but yeah. NQ has a really ugly 1 hour chart. It looks like just pure chop. Range chop. Very defined though. I wonder why we spooled down anyways. When did we start? It's around 10:25. 10:25. Any news? Oh, Trump was on, that's why. So this is a maternal health care event, and he happened to speak about Iran. Iran has yet to allow a tanker with UAE LPG to pass Hormuz. I'm considering renewing Project Freedom. Iran said the US will have to remove the nuclear dust. NVIDIA CEO was not invited and is not going to Beijing during the Trump Xi visit. Iran hardline leaders are going to fold, says Trump. We will deal with Iran until an agreement is reached. Project Freedom would be part of a larger operation. Visa and MasterCard CEOs are going to go to China with Trump. That's odd. 365 stops. Very nice. Yes, reached high of day. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah, it's upward drift. It's looking pretty good. NQ should follow here. Beautiful. Good management. This is looking pretty good. The upside target that Alma has, just for some reference, is 74.42. The market expects momentum above the pivot. This is where spot escapes the centroid magnet. Volatility is needed. Target is reversionist back to 74.30, where a local magnet is clustering. However, into the PM session above the pivot, there will be a local resistance at 74.15 that will provide reversion back to the centroid. Yeah, but if we're above that, it won't, in theory, it shouldn't be resistance anymore. And that's during the PM session. Pretty far away from that. Good hold, Koshik. Amazing. Great trade. $395. It's good trailing. I like it, especially with ES already hitting the high of day or all-time highs there. I like that. So we're approaching that. So right now we have a reasonable cluster, 74.20 to 74.25. So I'd expect some sort of rejection, and we got one at 74.21. So right now it wants to stay within this negative gamma area. Sorry, it's positive gamma overall, but there's like a cluster of negative dealer negative strikes, which has a negative gamma kind of effect. And so far, if you just look at the bottom and the top of price action, like we're looking right at the edge. Yeah, the edge of this cluster. And you can kind of see it here too, where that 0 gamma line ends towards the end of the day. It's like 73.9697, 74.20. It doesn't mean we can't break above it. I think that seems to be where it wants to go, but you're just going to get an initial reaction off that, the edge of that cluster. Yeah, not seeing anything here. It does look like a potential grind up is possible. But right now the fight is at the edge of this cluster. $15-minute equal body highs. Yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah, it's just like one big barcode earlier on the 15 minutes. Big resistance here. Even ES has some resistance here. If it wants to bust through, I can see it definitely making its way to 74.30, 74.40, maybe 35. Yeah, there's a good chance I'm not going to see anything else today. Man, NQ was really the way to play it today. ES was a little bit harder. Even though ES positioning or SPX positioning did help kind of give us enough data on where we may reject. I'm just annoyed I didn't hold long enough. So trying to find something in Alma's chat. Still rejecting off that edge of cluster here. Nothing enticing though. Yeah, your take profit was pretty good, I'd say. rather than sitting through that chop. And now lower it went. It's would have been a reasonable trade off that 5-minute candle there on ES. I gave it some thought, but I didn't really want to play it, thinking that we could break out of this edge of cluster. And I mean, this was ended up being what, like an 8-point pullback from around there. Yeah, something about 10 point from the highs maybe, but 8 points from when I would have likely been able to enter had I entered. But nothing I like about it, aside from that edge of cluster rejection. Oh no, I don't. I think I was just looking at where you exited and thought it was a great exit, especially if we were just chopping around here. So it would have been like very slow. And I thought about entering like that 5-minute high candle at 10:55, mainly because it was at the edge of cluster, but I don't like it a second time. Like the first time would have been a decent play. Second time, it's more likely that we could break above here and then move into that positive gamma cluster, positive positioning cluster between 74.25 through to 74.35. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get many other trades other than the morning one. We're forming a nice trend line to the upside on NQ. Trend line break to the upside. Oh yes, yeah. I see. Yeah. I agree. I just think that we're gonna move even SPX. Like I think we're gonna finally move into that positive gamma cluster, positive strike cluster. It does look like it's gonna break very nicely on NQ. But this is not my usual trade strategy, so I can't really like play it. Even then, I still think your take profit was perfect. Because the whole time there, you're talking about like half an hour of range. Half an hour, 45 minutes, half an hour. Yeah, about half an hour beyond where you closed of just ranging price action. The time in market, it just doesn't feel efficient, if you will. Funny how you have spotty Wi-Fi today, but and I had like streaming issues today. It's a coordinated attack effort, I think. Yeah, I still this edge here, this edge of cluster seems to be what's holding the price action down for the most part. But once we break up, we're gonna head into this cluster and it opens up that move to 74.35, maybe even 74.40. But so far, like the dealer positioning or market maker positioning, whatever you want to call it, worked out nicely today, I would say. But it looks like we're finally going to break out into that new cluster. Damn. You're probably right. It's a good point. Very good point. Yeah, I thought about like making the stream more like showing my trades a little bit more. But it would kind of mess up with my workflow a little, but I guess I can like show a split screen between SPX and ES. Because SPX I think is like what I'm really watching, which is why I'm showing SPX. But suppose I can show like a split screen that shows like SPX and ES. Oh yeah, here comes the NQ. New all-time highs or new high of day. There you go. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, the branding's all off. Honestly, I didn't really know what I wanted to achieve. I just knew that I should probably stream to some degree. It would help me with my speech or train of thought and verbalizing it to some degree. And figured that it was an opportunity to kind of meet more people. But yeah, I think the branding is all off. Maybe I'll have to mess around with that eventually, but I don't know that I care enough about the other like maybe I don't care enough about the stream numbers, if you will. Oh, trust me, I kind of hate it, but I figured I should do what I hate. Because I probably hate it for a reason, right? It makes me uncomfortable a little, so which also messes with my trading a little. But I figured overall it will eventually be good. It would just take time to adjust. Even when no one was watching, I think like I would have like the odd person come in here and there, ask some questions, but and most of them find me through the keyword GEX. But even when no one was watching, like I had to like verbalize things. I just had to practice verbalizing things and and I guess verbalizing my train of thought. And it kind of helped me think things out a little bit better. Plus, I met you, so it was worth something. But I'm also not like really marketing. I'm not marketing. I'm not doing anything. I'm not even using Twitter to kind of push this out. So like I, I'm half-assing the effort of streaming per se, but I don't think I necessarily want to grow too fast beyond my comfort zone. Like I gotta inch into it. But I also don't know that I want to grow and become like an influencer because it takes too much work to create content, even off of the stream that we've been doing. Like I think I used to record. I used to record myself trading um and then trying to video edit and cut out and speed things up and call out certain strategies and put it into a short, but that only lasted so long. It took a lot of effort after hours. But maybe things might change eventually. Okay, let's see here. I used to watch a lot of the copy traders too, but I don't think I've copied their trades. Like earlier on, I might have. Like it was nice to have like that confluence. Like maybe a year, maybe 2 years ago when I was watching them. It was nice to have that confluence. But now, even today, like or not like a few months back, I'd watch them, but I don't really I realized I just had it on just to kind of have some noise. It's like listening to music to some degree. And I find that a lot of them are entertainment based now, less trading based. And it's very hand wavy, like, hey, look at me, I'm taking this trade right now and I made like 10,000 bucks or 20,000 bucks. Which is definitely not my style. I'm a little bit more reserved. And yeah, I just kind of stopped watching the other traders and having them on in the background, and instead just kind of like focused on reading the options depth charts for the most part. I might like pop in a chat in here and there in like Alma's Substack chat room, but yeah, other than that, I'm just kind of like watching the charts for the most part. Yeah, it's still looking like an upside drift for the most part. But I don't think I'm going to play anything. I think the play that we had in the morning to short was the right play. It was just timing was a little bit off. The read was right. Timing was off for me. But your bottom picking was pretty good at the lows. Right off the 260 level was perfect. And I think you even got the ES VWAP tap for that low. But NQ was definitely the way to go. I don't particularly love the look of SPX. It's like, what do they call this? It's like a constricting wedge. Price action's getting tighter and tighter. Let's see. Oops, I just realized. There you go. Yeah, it's just extremely slow here. But you kind of have this like rising wedge formation. So I'll probably just watch that. But I suppose the rising wedge is the reason why I don't want to play for more upside, even though the dealer positioning would suggest further upside. And we could get to 74.30. I mean, they were talking about 8 points away, and it might get there at around lunchtime if this projection is correct. The rising wedge, like 12:25. So in about like 45 minutes, we might reach it. If we stay within the wedge, of course. But anytime I see a rising wedge, I always think there's a quick down move that's gonna potentially happen. Oh my goodness, that's happening there too, eh? In India? I mean, it was kind of happening here in the US. Or not here, but I'm in Canada, but probably happening here too to some degree. But the US was having very similar issues, especially not needing an ID in various Democrat states to vote. But is West Bengal is a state in India? Is that correct? Which borders Bangladesh? Okay. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay. I didn't even realize a state can make that call to allow, I guess, quote unquote, immigration, illegal immigration, from the sounds of it. So, what's the play there with Bangladesh? Is Bangladesh trying to um, take land away from India, or how's that, or have influence in Indian politics? In terms of funding and diplomacy, interesting. So it sounds like the West is trying to have some influence there. That's pretty wild. When British was here, most of their operation known as East India Company. Yeah, I am grossly understudied when it comes to that region from a political perspective. Ah, I see it. Holy crap, another 3 hour plus movie. Durandahar. Durandahar. 2025. This is new. Sounds like a new movie. Come on, please have English audio. Oh, really? Amazing. Man, I read so slow. So I will miss most of the action just staring at the subtitles. All right, I added to my list. But that's another 3 hour plus movie. Like, I can't even watch Avatar. Like, this is insane. But must be a good movie. Is it normal for Indian movies to be over 2.5 hours? Like 2.5 hours seems to be like the the high end when talking about like Hollywood movies. Okay. That's common. Holy smokes. Like 2.5 hours, like high end for us. And we're talking about like Marvel movies averaging about 2.5 hours. And they're like big blockbuster movies. But I think Avatar is over 3 hours, if I remember correctly. The new one. And I haven't watched it yet. Yeah. That's a good time to stop. I felt like there's been zero payoff after Endgame. There's a few interesting movies, but really not much. I did watch Daredevil recently, the Daredevil Reborn. It's a TV show, and I thought that was done pretty well. A lot of politics, or a lot of political stuff that kind of played out, but in a smaller municipal New York New York scale. Yeah, Black Panther was pretty good. I enjoyed Black Panther. Shang-Chi. Yeah, Shang-Chi was actually surprisingly okay. I didn't um I didn't think it would be as good as it was going in. Yeah, Daredevil. Yeah, exactly. So it's funny because like Kingpin was gone for, I thought it was the end of Kingpin at the during the Netflix Daredevil series, but they brought him back for the new Disney Daredevil series, the Reborn Again series, and yeah, Kingpin is just next level. I think that's the reason why they had to bring him back, because he was so good. I also liked WandaVision was an interesting TV show. Like haven't really seen a TV show like that before. And then Loki was also pretty good. I followed Loki right to the end. But after that, yeah, I try to watch. Oh yeah, Moon Knight was actually pretty decent. Yeah, I try to watch it. It's just it's not. I feel like it's not as good anymore after Endgame. Like Endgame was the big payoff. It felt very much like the peak of Marvel. What was it, like 10 plus years in the making? Yeah. Yeah, I thought he retired. I don't get me wrong, because RDJ is back, I will definitely watch that movie when it comes out. Well, I don't know that I'll watch it in theater. I'll probably watch it whenever it's released on what, Disney Plus or something. I find it super hard for me to be able to sit through a 3 hour movie these days. So I have to watch them in like segments. 15 minutes here, half an hour there. They did do some decent fan service with Deadpool. The one what is it? Deadpool versus Wolverine. Oh yeah. Oh, so you're a Christopher Nolan fan too? Yeah, I'm a. I think I have to watch everything or most of the things that he does. Yeah, like Oppenheimer. That was pretty good. I didn't think I would enjoy that much, that one that as much, but it was ended up being pretty good. Tenet. I was a huge fan of Tenet. Yes, Inception was great. Yeah, I think Inception. I've watched it like maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, for the second or third time, and it was still very good. Yes, Batman series. Yeah. Again, I don't normally like Batman, but Christopher Nolan did it, and I was like, man, this is incredible. Yeah, The Dark Knight Rises was pretty darn good. Like I think that really made me like Christopher Nolan movies. Or sorry, not Dark Knight Rises, The Dark Knight, the one with the Joker. Wait, Shawshank Redemption was Christopher Nolan? If it is, I didn't know. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, Shawshank was really good. I think it was Morgan Freeman that was in that movie, right? And yeah, I watched it like a number of years back, like maybe like during COVID, around that time. I think that's the first time I've watched Shawshank Redemption. I did not watch it before that. Oh, another Christopher Nolan movie that's good is Interstellar. I enjoyed that movie, but I didn't watch a lot of his movies. Like I didn't watch Dunkirk or Prestige. Prestige was another one that I heard was really good, but I didn't watch it. Me, I'm like, I'll be 38 this year. How about you? Well, I want to think I'm still young. I I personally don't know. I would never have guessed that you were from India either. So I think I thought you were over the pond, but I thought you were from London or something, right? Like somewhere in England. But I'd have to say around you're no, you're 23. That is bullshit. That no. That's that must be a lie. No way. Do you mean 32? I think you mean 32 at least. That's insane. How would you say everyone that's your age um is as well studied in your region? I personally thought you might have been like 40, 40 something, if I had to guess. But that's just based on your um your knowledge of politics to some degree. Because and the reason why I say no way you're not 23 is because there's not a 23-year-old here in Canada or the US that is as well studied. Which is why I had to say 40s. Because most of the people that I speak to that might know this much about things are in their 40s, maybe late 30s. Yeah, like, wait, are we talking about first term? If it was first term, you would have been like 13, right? Okay, second term, okay. Yeah, that's crazy. That is wild. So I take it that, wait, at what average age there are people normally married? Because I find that right now I am biasing a lot of my my understanding of people based on the West, based on like Canada and the US. Because that has been my exposure. Which is why I would have said you're 40 plus. Like, not a single 23-year-old would be able to speak about the CIA and whatnot and Palantir to this degree. At 25 to 29 for male, 23, 26. Yeah, I'm married. I have kids too. I want to think I'm still young, but my body sometimes doesn't think that. But you do not speak like a 23-year-old, even through your texting and your typing. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. It makes no sense to me. Marriage males 25 to 29. Yeah, that's about like the average age. No, I think the average age is sometimes like around 30 now, and maybe a little bit higher than 30. Same for kids. I think a lot of people are in the West is having kids much later. Your mindset got stuck in the 80s and 90s. Yeah. I mean, if you're 23-year-old, this is where you should be. You should be copy trading some random dude on YouTube that has like, I don't know, 100,000 plus followers. That's a normal 23-year-old. Like, I don't know if you ever come across Patrick Wieland, but that's his demographic. I'm shocked. I'm at a loss for words, clearly. Oh yeah, I watched him too, and he's brutal. Like, I hate his personality, but I get it. It attracts a lot of attention. I hate his personality. I hate the way he trades. Everything about it would be triggering for me. So like it did not help emotional management for trading. "23 and traveled a lot of India already." That seems like not a very normal thing for a 23-year-old. That's crazy, dude. You are insane. I still don't believe it. You have to tell me a few more times, and then maybe after like the 100th time, I might believe it. But there's this one guy I know. His name is Saad. I think he's West Indies, so Caribbean. But I don't know if he was from India at some point, or his parents were, or something like that. And I think he's around like 26, 27, and he works with a friend of mine, and he's already kind of like starting to break out of like that mid 20 mold, and now he's starting to feel more like an old soul, like in his 30s, even though he's pretty young. But pretty cool guy, I would say. But this kind of reminds me of that, because you're only 23 and that guy's like 26, and yeah, he's very interested in a lot of these things, investing and trading and whatnot. And he too has like some computer science degree. He works for a developer. So wait, do you have a full-time job? I might have asked this already. Like, are you working with your computer science degree? You traveled most of India when you were 13, 12? But that sounds like a family situation there, right? That means like your whole family traveled at that point. Oh, you got tons of time. I agree. I still believe that I have tons of time, and I got like 15 years more than you. But again, most of my trading has always been swing trades. That's where I made most of my money. And real estate investing. I'm gonna still talk to you as if I think you're older than me. To me, you're I'm gonna say 43-year-old from London, England. You didn't apply for a tech job? Yeah, well, why not? And you studied it? Plus, you can vibe code these days. Amazing what you can do with Claude. You hated real estate too? Damn. Get a good moral compass then. Yeah, you are the average of the 5 people that are closest to you or that you hang out with most. So it's very likely. Because then things become normal. That dishonesty, the cheating, and lies, as you say. And that's unfortunate. But yeah. Man, your parents must give you a hard time then. As a 23-year-old or 22, 23-year-old, if that was me, I would have gotten so much shit. And that was me alluding to you jumping jobs, if you will, or career paths. which I don't think is a bad idea now in hindsight. I think it's a great idea because you're young. You got plenty of time to figure out what you really like. Nice. Very good. Very good. That's really good. That's amazing. That's not a normal Indian parent behavior here in Toronto or in the Toronto area. All the Indian parents that I know, they'll disown their kids, or their kids will like get severe beats. Not too far off from my parents. I call it an immigrant parent thing. But all the Indian kids here are basically raised to become doctors or lawyers. And a lot of them actually became doctors. Less, yeah, a lot of them became doctors. And I think one of them stopped talking to like the entire friend group that we had, and stopped dating his girlfriend because she wasn't Indian. Like I think his parents really put a stop on a lot of what he was doing, which were like Western kind of behaviors, if you will. Yeah, that's good. But man, it kind of sucks though, because like you said, like you got to trade with prop firms, right? Like you're unable to trade um US assets based on Indian regulations, right? Very nice. Very nice. I was thinking that you would have to do something like that. Why Singapore and not some Middle Eastern country? Or even like Western Europe? I haven't looked into this obviously, but I kind of figured you would have to open up an account and or a business account, a corporation, if you will, or something along those lines in a different country. Gotcha. See, a 23-year-old will not know this. At least not common. And it sounds like it's not common there either. But you seem to have a good moral compass, especially if you realize that real estate, that real estate company that you work for is full of like dishonest people. That's not bad at all, right? As long as you're still making money. It's good. So the idea is to pull money out of like the prop firms and get it to fund opening a business account, a corporation in Singapore. And my guess is that you'll probably have some mailbox address over there, right? Because in Canada, you can set up a mailbox address here too. Where it looks like it's a condo or an apartment, but it's really just a mailbox located somewhere, like some postal delivery service. Oh, nice. That's pretty awesome. Sounds like a great idea. I'm still shaking my head, thinking that your 23 is wild. Oh, I see. The all-in cost is like the 2,500 to 3,000 USD. And you're in a good place though. For a 23-year-old, you're in a good place. Especially because I've seen what guys can do with the market. And like one of the trading buddies that I met also online that happens to live in Toronto. I think he's in his 40s. No kids. I think he's married. But all he does is just trade. And well, I think he still has a full-time job. But his trading is unreal. and he trades a volume profile, and he spends most of his time on the um, Discord server, which is ran by that Forest guy that I think I told you about a while back on YouTube. But yeah, he does really well, and he just trades volume profile for the most part. So I've seen guys turn like 6 figures pretty easily on, I think he pulled like 6 figure on Apex, but he was copying like 20 accounts, and he managed to get paid out. But now he's banned from Apex. Basically, they won't allow him to open up another one, but he's using TPT, take profit traders, which doesn't seem to have any real limits. Right, I think I gotta call it. I'll be back tomorrow. I think the only day that I'm not gonna be streaming is Thursday, and I'm gonna have some lunch. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.